Okay, good morning, everybody. It is the first day, whenever you're watching this. I just want to go over some guidelines for this class. My name is Mr. Belser, and we're going to be studying U.S. government. This is a one-semester class that you must complete to graduate from high school. So I'm just going to go over the basic guidelines, and this year, of course, is much different than years prior. This is the syllabus in front of me, and you're seeing the syllabus right now. I just want to go over this with you. So everybody, it's very important that we're all kind of on the same page this year regarding the guidelines, regarding the procedures, all that good stuff. So it says, welcome to U.S. government. It says this semester we'll be learning about the government and current events. There is a lot of wild stuff happening these days. This whole situation in school is wild, so it should be very interesting, to say the least. And we're all not sure how this is all going to go, but we're all in this together, as High School Musical once said. So it's important that we're all on the same page here. Our number one goal is to stay safe. Therefore, there are mandatory safety procedures that we'll be following in the classroom. These are not negotiable. Our number one goal is to contain and minimize the spread of COVID-19, the virus. If one person has the virus in this classroom, we want to make sure that no one else gets infected. I don't want to be effective. Therefore, we are going to stay safe. Therefore, we will follow the procedures that the school is mandating to the letter. And again, this is the same thing that you'll see in every single classroom. I just want to make sure that the appropriate measures are happening in this classroom. You will have assigned seats. You must sit in your assigned seat as long as you are in the class. There will be no group work, no moving around the room, no sharing pencils or other resources. Again, this is across the entire school. This is the same thing. Pretty much, by and large, unless you have to go to the restroom, you are to stay in your assigned seat. And by and large, we'll get to work here in a second, but by and large, everything that you complete will be online. If you have to use the restroom or if you have to step outside, let me know and I will let you go. I will let people leave the classroom for restroom breaks one at a time. I will not give you a pass. We're not using passes. We don't want people to pass, pieces of paper back and forth between each other. When you go to the restroom, you are to go and come back. So again, that's kind of a school-wide procedure. This is very different. And I just, again, you're probably hearing this in your impact classrooms, or you will hear this in your impact classrooms, but I want to make sure everybody understands this. Dismissal for every single period will be staggered to minimize the number of people in the hallway. And it will look like this. Okay, we're all in the classroom. On purple days, I've got students whose last names begin with A through K. For the first bell, at the end of class, at the end of each class, there will be one bell that sounds. If your name begins with A through C, you will leave on that first bell. Then 1 minute later, a second bell will sound. When you hear that second bell and your last name begins with D through G, you will leave. Then 1 minute later, there will be a third bell, H through K. If you're that last part of the alphabet on purple days, you will leave on the third bell. For L through Z on silver days, L through P will leave on the first bell. Q through U will leave on the second bell, and V through Z will leave on the third bell. So again, every single class period, there will be 3 separate bells that are about a minute apart. 1, 2, 3, the first bell, the first part of the alphabet will leave. Second bell, the second part of the alphabet will leave. Third bell, the third part of the alphabet will leave. And again, this is done so the number of people in the hallway is minimized. There will be no lining up at the door under any circumstances. I know in the past, and in my classes, although you're not supposed to do that, students would line up at the door right before class was to end. You have to stay in your seat until your bell rings. And again, we don't want people getting too close to each other. We want to practice social distancing. You should be at least 6 feet apart, and that's why we're not going to, line up at the door at the end of class. Masks. So it has been shown and recommended by the CDC that masks vastly reduces the spread of the virus. So we are wearing a mask during class. I will be wearing a mask during class. I sure as heck don't want this coronavirus. There have been a lot of propaganda, a lot of things in social media about masks. The bottom line is, and I'll explain this very briefly, if you don't have a mask on and you're talking, that means you are emanating projectiles into the air, droplets into the air that are, aerosol droplets that you really can't see. If you come in contact with these droplets, and with somebody who has the virus, then you will get the virus. I mean, this is a very easily spread disease, very contagious. So simply put, if you're wearing a mask, that means you're minimizing the droplets in the air. Everybody's working together. If everybody's wearing a mask and there are no droplets in the air, that means the virus is not going to be spread. So we're going to keep our masks on unless you are eating and drinking in the class. So if you're eating and drinking in the class, you still have to have your mask on. But if you're taking a drink or taking a bite, you may pull down the mask to do so. But again, your mask must remain on. And I will demonstrate. This is my mask that I will be wearing. As you can see, it is a very nice mask with a unicorn on it right there. It was actually a gift. I think I was supposed to get the one with the shark on it, but I like this unicorn. I do. So if I'm taking a drink of something, I've got my coffee here. I'm just, maybe I'll pull it down like this. Take the drink, and then boom, it's right back up. So the mask, and here I'm not wearing a mask because I'm all by myself in this classroom. The mask should definitely, I've seen people in the grocery stores who, they've got their mask pulled down, over, beneath their nose. The mask should cover your entire face at all times, unless you're taking a drink or taking a bite of something. So there is that. If you are eating or drinking in class, you have to throw away all your trash. Oh, shoot, I skipped this. Okay. So obviously, if you're eating or drinking in class, we don't want anything that's possibly contaminated by anybody. I'm not saying, we're all in this together again. If you got a candy bar wrapper, if you got whatever, a coffee cup, a juice box, a milk carton, whatever, you've got to throw it in the trash. Okay, and I'm just going to kind of monitor that throughout the entire class period. I skipped this part, and as you can see, it says entering the classroom. When you are entering the classroom, you are going to go directly to your seat. Next to your desks, there will be materials, cleaning materials for you to take and wipe off the surface of your desk using those materials. Why? Well, again, if somebody coughs on your desk and they have the virus, that virus will stay on your desk for quite a while. And if you touch the desk and happen to touch your face, then boom, you've got it. So it's very key for you to take your cleaning supplies, wipe off your desk before you sit down. That's every single day. And again, I'll kind of be on that and making sure people are doing that. So these are the safety procedures that are in place. Again, I think the main thing is, or the main points you want to take away from this is the seating charts. You've got to sit in your assigned seats. The staggered bells, again, you're going to want to, we have to kind of abide by this, the first bell, second bell, third bell. You guys are leaving at different times depending on where you are alphabetically with your names. And then entering the classroom, wipe off the surface of your desk, make sure all trash is thrown away, and wear your mask. I will be wearing a mask. Everybody will be wearing a mask. Masks are the thing this year. Work and assignments, because we don't want you guys, this is going to be so different. Basically, most of this stuff is going to be online. Your work and assignments are going to be online. You're not going to be turning in any paper. If you want to write things down or take notes, I don't quite know how this is going to look yet, but I'm going to figure that out, or we'll kind of figure this out together. But if you want to write things down, anything that I say, bring your own pencil and notebook. I will not be giving out pencils. We're not going to be sharing pencils. I'm not going to be handing out papers. Really, what I would do is I would take notes if I want to take notes, or if I wanted to take notes, I take notes on my Chromebook or my laptop or whatever device you're using. And that's the only thing that you're going to need. Your Chromebook, your electronic device, and your headphones are going to be the only things that you need. And again, bring those things every day, the Chromebook and the headphones. Otherwise, you don't need anything else, as far as I'm concerned, at least for this class. I'm not sure how everybody else is doing it in their classes, but for this class, you do not need anything. Assignments. All assignments will be posted in It's Learning. On days that you are not in school, you will be expected to watch lecture videos and complete questions on the videos, and you're going to complete any other assignments that are posted in It's Learning. On days that you are in the building, there will be tasks posted in It's Learning for you to complete. I got to change that. It's Learning, I think, should be capitalized. I will also take questions in class on anything that is confusing. I'm also going to try to keep you guys updated on current events. And we'll try to have some discussions, although I'm not exactly sure how all of that is going to look. But by and large, everything that we are going to be doing and turning in is going to be online. When you complete an assignment, submit it in It's Learning. And again, I'm trying to, as we speak right now, I'm trying to figure out exactly what this course is going to look like in It's Learning. Grades. Your grades will be made up of tests, quizzes, classwork / homework, and projects. All tests and quizzes will be completed at home, and that's a different thing. Tests and quizzes will be completed at home, so it's basically open book, open notes, etc., with the exception of the final exam. Final exam you will be taking in the classroom. All tasks will, again, this is just kind of a reiteration of what I just said. All tasks will be completed in It's Learning and submitted